Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Tuem, and today I'm going to talk with Jennifer Borg from the metal music band named Divine Ascension. Sorry if I started the show a little earlier or even a little later because we had daylight time change, daylight time saving change in Australia that I didn't know. So I just understood that it is now 10:30 in Melbourne. So for those who are in Melbourne, we are starting this later, and for those who are in Cyprus, we are starting it 30 minutes earlier. So now I'm waiting for Jennifer to join the chat so that we can start it. Hello to everyone. Now let me see. Whenever she will be online, we will start it for sure. Yes, there she is. I sent the request. Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
I'm so sorry for this mistake. I had no idea in Melbourne they have changed the time.
Yeah, we like to do that.
And when exactly did it happen?
Uh, Probably 3, 4 weeks ago, we do a daylight saving, which is you get an extra hour of daylight, so it
I
stays
see.
light longer, darker in the morning.
For many countries, they started from the end of October. That's why I didn't even check if there's a case like this.
Yeah, look, I don't even know when it happens generally. My iPhone just updates it, so I just do whatever my iPhone says.
Yeah. So, Jennifer, how's the weather, by the way, in Melbourne?
It's actually lovely. Where it's evening now, so it's just kind of t-shirt weather. But yeah, it's been very warm today. So we're pushing into spring. So we're kind of in the low 20s.
Yeah. So in
Yeah.
Australia, as I understood, your winter time will be like in September, June, and July, something like that,
Yeah. Nice food.
or even
Yeah.
August.
Now I've got to think. Yeah. So yeah,
It's
which is
confusing, you know.
yeah.
The in different countries we have such a case. In Cyprus, we have always summertime. Doesn't matter which month it is.
Oh yeah.
So this is good in that sense. So Jennifer, would you please let us know about your background in music industry and also about your music band?
Yeah, sure. So I've been performing for all of my life. So on stage dancing when I was young and playing piano. And then started singing when I was about 15, 16, and started having singing lessons at 16, and then sang in like cabaret kind of shows and theatre and so forth. Travelled for a little while on cruise ships singing and dancing, and yeah, joined a few bands when I moved back to Melbourne. And this is when I met the guys from Divine Ascension. So yeah, been playing with them for, I don't even know now. It's like probably 15 years. Yeah, long
So
time.
long. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
is cruise ship famous in Australia? Because recently I had an interview with ODB. Also, she's from Australia, so she was also inside cruise ships.
okay, yeah. Um, I think there's opportunities for dancers on cruise ships to travel, via Princess Cruises and Royal Caribbean, and to travel to America and so forth. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of good for Aussie entertainers to be able to get out and see the world, and especially when you're young, like it's a good opportunity to get halfway across the world. We're so far away, and cruise industry is not like America. It's not like lots and lots of ships coming out in and out of Australia. But it's just an industry where, yeah, I suppose it gives opportunities to young dancers. So in production shows and to get a bit of experience. So yeah, it's hard competition, I think, to get into that kind of stuff. But it's good. It's good for dancers and
But
singers.
you were performing there as a singer, right?
For me, I was a dancer and then singer. So
Oh,
mainly as
I
a
see. So
dancer.
it was the combination of both of them. So
Yeah, yeah,
I see.
yeah. And you don't tend to work as like a lead singer until you've had a bit of experience, because they kind of want you to be able to mentor the cast, because you're out there without a director. You've just got a dance captain and you've got the show. So your kind of elders in the shows, the singers and the dance captain, are looking after the rest of the cast.
Yeah. So for how long have you been doing that?
I only did it in my early 20s, so
Hmm.
I only did two contracts. So it was about a year and a half that I was, yeah.
I see. Did it get boring for you, or how did you decide to just leave it?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. It did get boring. You learn. I mean, it's hard because it's such a good opportunity to be able to perform and get paid and do what you love. But yeah, same show every night. For, well, same shows, for 6
Yeah.
months on and off. It's yeah, it can be mentally taxing, and yeah. I mean, you can complain about anything that you do, I suppose. Like, you can travel and do the same show and same gig all the time and just go, oh my gosh, can we write a new song? Like, but I think for me, it pushed my direction to bands, because I wanted to move into musical theatre. And I thought that that's where I wanted to be after doing cruise ships, and it completely changed my mind. I decided that I didn't want to be in the same show day in, day out, and
Yeah.
that I needed a lot more variety.
Yeah, totally understandable. And
Mm.
Jennifer, you have such a beautiful voice and it's compatible with many music genres. So how come did you choose a metal music band?
I think it was more to do with composition, so music composition. When I was traveling on cruise ships, I was doing a university degree by correspondence. I was doing a business degree, and I decided to do a music composition degree for fun. And at the end of that, I wanted to put my skills to use, particularly with orchestration. And I heard a sample of Divine Ascension, what is now Divine Ascension. So I listened to the music and just went, I think I know what to do with this, and contacted the guys and said, hey, I see you need a singer. I think let's try this. And so, yeah, and then it turned out that it was this whole other genre that I'd never really delved into. So it wasn't something that I went out looking for, a melodic metal, a progressive metal, whatever, female fronted metal, whatever you want to call it. I wasn't looking for that. I was just looking for good music and good musicians and nice people to work with. And I found that in Divine Ascension.
So the former members of the group were already there. I mean, you were added at the last moment, right?
So at that time, there was the current drummer, Luke,
Mm-hmm.
Rob, who was the guitarist for As the Truth Appears and Liberator, and he's no longer with the band.
Oh, I see.
And Carl hadn't joined at that point, so Carl is the lead guitarist and our only guitarist now. Yeah, and that was it, really. We didn't have keys. So it was just Rob and Luke at that stage and myself. And then we started, like trying to find bass player, trying to find keys. Yeah.
So bass player also added later after you've been in the music band.
Yeah. Look, we only just kind of started writing, and then I'm just trying to remember. We did have a bass player, but he didn't stay for that long. He didn't stay around for lots of albums. So we
It's
went through
very
quite a
hard
few
to,
bass players.
yeah. It's very hard to form a music band which each member has the quality and they are good. And you know, in Nightwish music band, for example, I'm a big fan of Nightwish. And even in Nightwish, I could say this member, for example, I don't like this member because of maybe his gesture or his play. But your band, it is very interesting for me because each member is very interesting and they are very cool. And I'm very
Oh,
interested about your band because of that.
I
Each
think they
member
are.
has its own character, and as a group, you guys are doing great. I love that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I think in a band, like, the most important thing, apart from obviously being able to play your instrument, um, is having the same vision, being in the same mindset, and wanting the same things, and respecting each other. So I think we've always kind of we've never had one particular person um, being the leader. We all have equal say, and that's been very important when we've had new band members. It's kind of been more an interview of a personal, is this person going to fit in with our culture, like with our
Yeah.
band. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And what would you say as the most challenging thing for being a vocalist of a metal music band?
The most challenging thing is writing melodies and vocal lines that cut through the music live. Apart from having good gear to be able to, like a good microphone to be able to be heard, we've always been a little bit of a wall of sound live. And for me, the most challenging thing was to make sure that my vocal lines cut either through or over whatever music is happening.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get, muddied or lost in there. And that's tough, and it can be tough for the sound engineer to deal with live as well. Because you kind of want your music to translate live as well as on an album, yeah? Like, you want to
That's
be able
true.
to, you want people to be able to come out and, hear and watch what they've heard on the album or what they've listened to on Spotify.
Yeah, that's true, Jennifer. And which tours have you been before? Which countries have you visited for your music band?
So, we've done a few shows around Australia, and we have been to a few places in Europe.
I saw one concert in Milan, for example. You were there.
Yeah. Look, I don't actually, I know this is really bad, but I don't actually think I could name all the places that we've been in Europe. But we did do like 6 weeks kind of back-to-back shows all around Europe. So
Oh, that was great.
mostly everywhere in Europe, and also UK, London as well.
And are you planning to do that after COVID again?
I hope so, but how long is it going to be until we're going to be able to travel? Like, in Melbourne here, we're actually locked down. So we've been locked down since March. And yeah, we've got a lot of restrictions of where we can go and when we can go and how far we can leave our house, how far we can go. We're in a 5-kilometer restriction.
Yeah, that's very tough.
It's full on. So yeah, look, it's kind of feels like a lifetime away, if that makes sense. With what we're going through at the moment, to even kind of contemplate being able to go overseas is just crazy. I mean, obviously would be amazing. But yeah, it's a long way away. It feels a long way away. So we haven't got any imminent plans to jump on an aeroplane. Um, I think our plans right now, I'd like to be able to release the next album.
Mm,
So we're currently writing, got some cool stuff happening, and hopefully that will be the next step. So releasing the album, probably having that recorded and released before we go anywhere.
I see. So you're focusing on the new album and just keep creating until there's a chance to get out of Australia and have your tours, international tours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and by the way, we as Persians, we have memory from Melbourne. I don't know, are you a football fan or not?
Look, my family are football fans, but I'm not a massive football fan. No, I couldn't say. I do have a football team that I go for, and it's in our culture. You know, like I've been to football matches, and yeah, everyone around me celebrates, and we have a public holiday for the football grand final. But
I see.
so it's full on. It's really ingrained in our lives. Um, and actually all of our football players were flown to a central area so that football could continue through COVID.
Oh, I see.
So it's very ingrained in our culture. But myself, no, I tend to be all caught up in my own music and the band and writing, and I'm not heavy into football. No.
I see. And what would be the difference? Because usually I ask cultural questions from my guests, and from people from Australia, it's very interesting to ask this question that what would you say as a cultural difference between you guys and people in New Zealand, for example?
People in New Zealand.
Yes.
um, I don't know. There's a lot of similarities.
As a foreigner, it's very confusing for us because we see lots of similarities. But what would you say that could be very different cultural difference between you guys?
Well, I mean, I think the Maori culture is very ingrained in New Zealand. All I can think when you say New Zealand to me, all I can think of is just beauty. Like every time I've been to New Zealand, the landscape is just amazing. Um, it's a lot colder than even though Melbourne's quite cold. New Zealand's a lot colder. I haven't actually spent a lot of time in New Zealand to really be able to differentiate between the two cultures. Like, yeah, there are certain things, obviously like the haka, that's very New Zealand. But yeah, Aussie rules football is a big thing, like you were mentioning before, for Australians.
Yeah.
Whereas it's only in certain states though. Like Aussie rules is, well, it's most states, but one of our states, New South Wales, is more into rugby. So
Yeah.
there's a bit of a difference there. Yeah.
And people from New Zealand usually brag about kiwi, that animal. Do you have that one in Australia too?
They what? Sorry.
Kiwi. They have an animal named kiwi.
Oh, the kiwi bird. Yeah.
Do you have it in Australia too?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think we
So
do.
that's why they are bragging about it, because they only have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have been also in the UK. What would you say as the cultural difference between people in Australia and the ones in UK?
I would say a very big difference would be like for Melbourne, like because I would say there's differences within Australia as well. In different states, there's kind of
Yeah.
different
That's also
things.
natural. That's true.
Yeah. So in Melbourne, it's extremely multicultural, and you can, much like I would say somewhere like Malaysia, like much like somewhere like Malaysia, you can get quite authentic food from all around the world in Melbourne. And it's a very foodie culture, very coffee culture, you know, outdoor kind of dining, food, wine, all that kind of stuff, which I think would be very different from traveling in the UK. Look, it's been a while since I've been there now, but yeah, I would say it's not like heavy on kind of foodies like what Melbourne can be. So that's I think it's a massive difference.
I see. And Jennifer, if the speed will help us, speed of internet, we have a challenge on our page named Crazy Eyebrow, but let's see, you're frozen now. Let's see if you will be back. Can you hear me now? Oh, you're frozen. Your picture is loading now. Let's wait a little to see if it works or not. Yeah, let me bring you back. Yeah, you're out of live now. Okay, so we will wait for Jennifer to join again and we will continue. I get this chance to say hi to everyone. Anna, Ken, Parsa, everyone welcome here. And now I'm waiting for Jennifer again to rejoin our chat. I think she had some technical difficulty for her internet. Why is written Jivu momentum? I must press something by mistake, maybe. Yeah. Let's check. Yeah, she's disconnected now. I'm waiting for her to join again. These are some text written in Russian here. Not related to this chat. Let's fix it. Yes. I don't know what happened to her internet. We will keep waiting for a few minutes. If she will join, then we will continue our conversation. What's going on with this? Leave a moment, it was written. Yes, I understood. Because these filters that we are applying, some persons are actually designed them, so I think they designed them also on this specific filter. So I don't know exactly what happened to Jennifer. We will keep waiting, maybe about 2 more minutes. Otherwise, we will close it and again have the second part later. Yes. So how's everything with you, Anna? Все хорошо? Что нового? Yes, Jennifer is here. Let me add her back. Hey again, Jennifer. What happened? You got disconnected, I guess.
My iPhone overheated. It's actually it's quite warm.
Yeah, in one of the lives, unfortunately, it happened to me. I had to record everything from the beginning. Fortunately, this time it happened with you instead of me. Now I have the record anyway. We won't lose the video.
Oh,
Many
sorry.
things trying to ruin our talk today, but we are fighters. We made it happen.
Yeah, technology.
Yeah. So Jennifer, I wanted to ask you to do something. We have a challenge on our page, and the name of it is Crazy Eyebrow. We try to
Oh,
pull
yeah.
one eyebrow up, one down. Can you do that? Oh, you're good with it. What
I think
about
I
the
can
other
only do
eyebrow?
one.
Only
I
with
think I
one,
can
right?
only do one. Just one.
Yeah. But you
Do I
do
get
very
half?
good job with that other one. Yeah.
Do I get half a point?
What about that one? Try it. Let's see what happens.
No, I can't do it.
You can't do that. No, that's the cheat.
I
Oh,
didn't do
well
it.
done, Jennifer. So, so Jennifer, I hope also to see you in Cyprus someday in person. We are trying to convince promoters to invite international artists like you guys. And it would be so lovely to see your performance here in Cyprus as well. Would your band ever consider to come to Cyprus?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That would
I
be wonderful.
I love travel as well. So I think getting to meet people from all over the world, experiencing different cultures, and yeah, oh, yeah, awesome. Like, who doesn't want to do that?
But not with ship cruises anymore, I guess.
No way. No, no, no.
I see. Jennifer, thanks a lot for giving us your time today, especially because of that time changing. I'm sorry that it happened and it wasted your time. But
Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine.
yeah. And Jennifer, would you like to add something about you and about your band, maybe?
If everyone has the chance to check us out on YouTube, Spotify, like us on Facebook. Our most recent album, which we didn't quite get to tour because of COVID, is The Uncovering. So even though we didn't get to play live to everywhere we wanted to go, maybe you guys can check us out on Spotify or YouTube instead. Maybe buy our album if you've got a few extra dollars hanging around. You can grab it from the website. I think we've got some merchandise up there too. So if you need some awesome metal clothing,
that would be nice. And even to support their favorite bands, they can just simply come and like you guys. It will be a good help. It's not just even about buying the album.
Yeah. And just touching base, like, we're completely approachable. So just shoot us a message and say hello. We love to kind of hear from you, and we like to know what songs that you like that we've done. Give us some feedback. And it helps us kind of work out what everyone's loving. And, so when we're creating our next album, we know what direction to take it in.
And from where exactly they can find Divine Ascension works?
Say again?
From where they can find the music of your music band? From Spotify and where else? On YouTube, you have so many
all
videos
the
too,
normal
right?
channels. So all the normal channels, Spotify, Google Play, everywhere you can think of. You can buy the album on our website. You can also go to our Facebook page. You can send us a message on Instagram. Lots of options. However you would like. We will respond.
Great. I really suggest everyone who haven't listened to you guys try to do it, because your band is great, and I wish you and your band the best, Jennifer.
Thanks so much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for accepting our invitation. So see you hopefully soon in person, either in Australia, Cyprus, or in one of your tours.
Awesome. Sounds good.
That would be great. See you, Jennifer. Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone for joining us today. See you. Bye-bye.
See ya.